Maharaj, in material world, to get favor from materialistic people, we bow down, ask them some favor in a very humble. Somebody wants job, or somebody wants some favor or money or anything, because in material world those people who are in position, before them we become very humble. That humbleness is not there even when we come before the Lord. Before people on a high position, we are very humble. But that humbleness before the Lord, chanting the holy name of Lord, is not there. How is that? When we know it, that if we chant and pray Lord properly, they are million times better than these material people whom we are very, much praying them. How to get that humbleness?
We do not want that humbleness, because that is not humbleness. Real humility is to realize our utter helplessness before God and to beg Him for His mercy that He engage us in His loving service. Real humility is an offering. Real humility can never take place if we accept something material in return. So this is an artificial display of humility, but it is not humility at all. It is just a technique to exploit someone. It's a technique to get something out of someone. There are so many techniques. But humility is something of the heart. Humility can only come before God or His servants. Humility is the utter giving of ourselves with complete dependence on the mercy of God. And we want to chant the holy name in that humility. We don't want to chant the holy names in the false humility of the materialists, where they are simply expecting something in return for their sense gratification. The materialist does not beg you, please take away this ego. He's begging you to satisfy his ego. When we chant the holy name, we are aspiring to live by the sacred verse of Mahaprabhu, Trinarupi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnana, Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. To think oneself lower than a blade of grass. Sometimes Prabhupada would say, to think oneself lower than the straw on the street. That means a blade of grass that is not even connected to the ground, but has just been thrown on the street. Doesn't even have any life left. A blade of grass in the ground is still growing. But when that blade of grass is cast on the street, it doesn't even have a position to grow. It's not even green anymore. It's just being trampled on. To aspire to be more humble than the straw in the street, to offer all respect to others, to expect none in return, to be tolerant like tree. This is the aspiration by which we chant the holy name. Not that I will make a show when I'm chanting your name, Krishna, because I expect some favor from you. And after I get the favor, there's no longer any reason to put the show of humility on. We develop humility, the most important of all spiritual qualities, through performing the austerity of taking the position of being a humble servant of the servant of the servant in our life. When we take that position, Krishna sees that we really want to be humble. If we want to take position of master or controller, then Krishna will see we really don't want to be humble. Ultimately, humility can only come when Krishna gives it to us. It's not something you can develop. But by aspiring, by performing this austerity, of truly trying to be the humble servant of the servant, and praying deeply that this desire becomes our very eternal goal of life. And by following the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness with this desire in mind, then Krishna will most certainly reward you a heart of true humility, wherein we're willing to accept anything Krishna gives us with a kind and grateful heart and continue performing our humble service. That is the price of true humility. Mahaprabhu played Ashlisya va padaratam panashtu mama darshanam aramahatam karotu va yatha tata tavadata lampato mat prananatastu sa eva naparaha. That, my Lord, you have any right to deal with me in any way you please. You can embrace me, you can trample on me, you can neglect me, but I am your servant unconditionally. This should be our aspiration in all of our spiritual practices. And if it is, Krishna will fulfill that desire and create true humility within your heart.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.